everyone, and welcome. In today's reading, we are getting a message from Spirit to help you out with your anxiety or fear you might have. So this could just be a generalized fear or a fear about something specifically. I just felt called to do this reading because I've been dealing with a lot of fear myself. I started this channel not too long ago, just because I was recovering from surgery, so I was stuck in the house way more than I'm used to. But now as I'm recovering, I'm being forced to, go back to the real world, and for some reason I've been terrified about that. So I was asking Spirit about my own anxiety, and in that process, these other messages started coming through, so I felt called to do this video, even though it's in the middle of the fucking night right now. I'm sorry if the lighting's bad for that reason. But yeah, so I have a few different channeled messages here. I'm surprised because each of the group's messages turned out a little differently. So I hope these messages reach who they need to reach. But yeah, with that, I don't want to talk too much, but I do want to say thank you to everyone that's been supporting my channel. It's a really new channel, and I wasn't expecting this level of support at all. So thank you guys so much. It means a ton to me. All of you that have been liking, commenting, all of that stuff. It's really helped me through this time actually, and it's made me excited about doing this. So I hope I can help people with some of these messages I've been putting out there, all that. But anyway, like I said, enough talking. Today there are 4 groups to choose from. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is late, so I might have to film some of them in the morning. But so the lighting might change for some of you, I don't know. But yeah. Today I've chosen all amethyst stones because amethyst is very good. It's a very calming stone, very good for anxiety and fear. So if you are dealing with this, I do recommend, carry amethyst around in some way. But for group 1, this is an amethyst bracelet. For group 2, we have a little amethyst point. For group 3, we have a large amethyst point. And for group 4, this is an amethyst window stone. So as always, take your time in deciding. Choose the one you feel most drawn to. You can pause the video if you feel the need to take a little more time. But when you're ready, please click the corresponding timestamp in the description box below this video, and I'll see you in just a second in your reading. Hi group 1, and welcome. Today we're getting a message from Spirit to help you deal with your fear or anxiety. So generalized fear and anxiety, or fear about something specific. This message is for whichever situation you're dealing with. So let's get started here. We're going to, first I have a channeled message for you guys, then we're going to look at the root cause, and then pull some tarot to just kind of get more clarification on the message overall. But first, let me read the message that came up for you guys here. So we got, it's going to be okay. You are loved. There is nothing to fear. Take this one step at a time. Don't look too far ahead. And then you are beautiful. The you are beautiful feels out of place for me, but Spirit told me to add that in there. So obviously someone needs to hear you are beautiful. So I'll get back to this in a minute, but that's the main message for you guys in this group here. So the rune that came up for your guys' message, we have Yera, which means year if we translate it to English. So right off the bat, actually, I want to say the main part of this channeled message for you guys was to take this one step at a time. Just it's kind of like a one foot in front of the other. Just kind of let things flow. it's almost like you guys are trying to analyze or predict the future too much, and that's what's kind of causing a lot of your fear and anxiety, is because you're looking too far ahead. You just need to look at the first step right now, and that very much fits this rune, because this rune is about cycles. This rune is about the natural flow of life. You know, it's about, you know, like I said, it means year. So every year we follow the same 4 seasons. We just follow the same cycle, and life just naturally flows. Life just flows, and it's like Spirit wants to remind you of that. And whatever you're going through right now, this is just part of a natural cycle. It's flowing. It's going to be okay. Like, it's like don't try to predict like the next steps inside of the cycle. If you just like kind of accept it and go with the flow of it, that's going to help ease whatever you're going through. So I pulled 3 cards to kind of get the root of this anxiety for you guys, because sometimes knowing the reason can help us work through it and resolve it a little better. So for you guys, we have the 8 of Wands, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the 4 of Cups. So the 8 of Wands, this is a very sudden energy. It's very sudden, it's very rapid. There might either something came into your life really fast that you weren't expecting, I feel, or maybe there's just so much going on at once, it's just overwhelming. There's a lot of like, I don't know, sudden and overwhelming is the main thing I'm hearing here. Yeah, it could be a sudden change, just something you weren't expecting. There's unexpected and it came on fast. And I feel like, honestly, with the Queen of Swords right next to it, I feel like it came in here and it made you scared, but you ignored it. Like, the Queen of Swords blocks out her emotions sometimes. That's the negative aspect, the negative side of her. She's blocking out her emotions. So I feel like whatever came into your life all of a sudden, it made you scared. It made you anxious or sad or something. And it's almost like you decided to just be logical and rational about it and say, okay, this came into my life really quickly, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well not accept, or I might as well not feel anything about it, because I just have to deal with this. I just, you know, I need to do what I need to do. But because you took that very rational Queen of Swords type of approach to it, it kind of buried your initial emotional reaction to this coming in way too suddenly, way too unexpectedly. So it's almost like it got suppressed because you decided to either overanalyze the emotion or just straight block out the emotion. So it might be manifesting as just anxiety that keeps coming up. So I don't know if you know what this is I'm talking about, if it happened recently or a while ago, but it seems like a lot of your fear is because you just didn't allow yourself to process whatever emotions you had when this first happened. So that they're going to be stuck inside you and manifesting in some way, or just manifesting as a recurring fear, or for some of you maybe even a generalized anxiety. And yeah, the 4 of Cups, this is more like kind of ignoring your own emotions, blocking them out, because with the 4 of Cups there is like there's like a level of distracting yourself. So it might be that still, even when this fear starts coming back, and instead of processing it, even though it's trying to bubble up to the surface, it's trying to get itself unblocked. 4 of Cups is very much like distraction. So you're doing things to distract yourself from the fear instead of just facing the fact that whatever this sudden thing that happened was, this overwhelming thing, you just didn't let yourself feel it. And I feel like that's kind of the message, is like, you need to let yourself feel it. And maybe some of you are afraid that it's going to be too much, it's going to be too overwhelming to face this, and you don't want to face the emotion. But I feel like that's why your message is, it says you are loved. You're beautiful. You know, don't look too far ahead. It might be bigger inside of your mind if it's been suppressed, if you've been distracting yourself from it for too long. So it's like, face it, little by little, you know, one step at a time, and the emotion will flow through you. You know that this rune is all about flow. It's all about cycles. Let the emotion flow through you. Let the situations flow through you. You know, if you're facing like a mountain in front of you that's overwhelming, like this mountain suddenly appeared in front of you and it's too much, that's why your advice is, you know, take it one step at a time. You don't have to figure out how to scale the entire mountain right now. Just one step. Just look at what's right in front of you. You know, because the Queen of Swords, she likes to think a lot. She's planning things, and you might be doing that. You might be trying to plan too far ahead and think too far ahead, and it's just like, don't do that. Be gentle on yourself. The Queen of Swords is pretty harsh, and she can be harsh on herself too. It's like, let yourself feel, and don't let yourself get overwhelmed. You don't need to understand and know and think about everything all at once. It's all going to unfold for you. That's why this rune is here, to remind you that everything is going to unfold. Okay, Spirit, what further message do you have for group 1 here? What do you have for group 1 about their fear and anxiety? We have the 6 of Wands. That's like, whatever you're doing, there's going to be success. So I don't know, maybe it's just a project you're working on, but that's very much a promise that it's going to be successful, but you might be holding yourself back. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also like basically the same vibes as this rune here too. It's like fate, destiny, flow, cycles, things. The wheel just keeps spinning. So it's like, I don't know, but also success with this card. So if this is about a project or something you're working on, yeah, it's just like, this is going to work out for you. Stop overthinking it and just take it one step at a time. Because sometimes if you are jumping in too quickly, you're just going to get scared and overwhelmed. But if you just like focus on, okay, the task at hand, it's just going to slowly, everything's going to piece together. You'll slowly get it done. And look, 6 of Wands, success. Success. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Okay, this might, with both the Wheel of Fortune here and the Yera rune, this might be something fated. This might be part of your destiny. It might be a challenge your soul chose to actually experience here to make you stronger. You'll know best by contacting your guides, and I can't get into that too much because it's a general reading here, but if that resonates with you, then this is just a reminder that you're going to get through it, and you're going to get through it successfully. We have the King of Swords and the 3 of Cups. Yeah, there's like celebratory vibes here. If you look at the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, this is like celebration. It's going to be okay. Like, it might be scary right now, but everything's going to turn out really well. Okay, this is very positive. Celebration, friendship, joviality. I think the King of Swords here is just to kind of reiterate what I've been saying about the Queen of Swords. It's like, don't be harsh on yourself. Don't be overthinking the situation, and don't be blocking out your emotions, because the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords both do this. Okay? They're also here to remind you that it's okay to think. You should be logical and practical about it, but don't like take it too far. Don't make it so you're only focused on the big picture instead of like the steps, because it's the steps that are going to get you there. Because if you're focused too far ahead into the future, that's how we get overwhelmed. That's how we get overwhelmed and might start blocking out our own fear. Okay, I think I'm gonna pull just a couple advice cards for you guys as well to end out this reading. So, Spirit, Group 1, what final words of advice do you have? For Group 1? What advice do we have for Group 1? Humor, guys. So it's just like, you're just like, you're looking at things too far ahead. You're making it the picture too big. Like, just be lighthearted about what's going on. If you be lighthearted about taking small steps, your anxiety is almost gonna just fade away, because you're living in the moment instead of the future. I feel like that's the main problem for a lot of you, is living too far ahead instead of in the now. Manifest. And this is basically just reiterating everything I've been saying, okay? Like it's gonna get there. You're gonna have success, or the situation's gonna turn out, it's gonna turn out very, very positively here, okay? You just have to work on it. Little bit, little baby steps. That's all you need to think about, is little baby steps, and that's what's gonna get you there. Okay, group 1, I think I'm gonna end your reading here. If this was helpful, I'd love to know in the comments below. Please give this a thumbs up if it resonated. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Bye! Hi group 2, and welcome. You guys chose the little amethyst point. So today's reading, we are getting a message from Spirit to help you with your anxiety or fear, whether it is a generalized anxiety or fear about a specific situation. We're just going to see what Spirit has to say to help you through it and help you deal with it a little better. So first, I do have a channeled message that I got from Spirit about your guys' situation. Then we're going to look at the root cause, and then pull some tarot for a message for you guys. So, your guys' channeled message. It is, I can see how frustrated you are. You've been working too hard and can't see clearly anymore. Take a step back before moving forward. It's okay to slow down. I promise. So your guys' is the only message that was channeled like first person with the word I here. I don't know why. You might have a specific person or guide wanting to reach out or something, but I don't know. Take that as it resonates. But it seems like a lot of your guys' anxiety or fear is just because you are taking on too much, that's what that's making me think. So yeah, your main piece of advice is take a step back before moving forward. And it might even feel like some of you think you can't do that, but that's the advice Spirit is giving you here. And the rune that came up for you guys, we have Isa. So this means ice. It means like stationary, stasis, hibernation. So it's kind of like exactly what this message is saying. Like, if any rune means take a break, it's this one. This is take a break, take a pause, you know. This rune reminds me a lot of winter time. So hibernation, where you can just pause, reflect, you know, regain your energy before moving forward. Because if you guys have been working too hard, it's drained your energy. And when your energy's drained, it stops us from thinking clearly. And it makes it really difficult to move forward. Especially if you have a ton to do. If you take on too much, your energy is going to get drained, and it's going to manifest in ways like anxiety and fear. But let's take a look at what came up for the root cause for you guys. So we have Justice, Libra energy here. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Swords. So, I feel like you guys, there's obviously an energy of working too hard here and like taking on too much, but I feel like you guys feel like, yeah, you're doing a lot, but you're managing it, you're on top of it, you know? With Justice here, it's like everything you're doing is balanced. You're maintaining it for the most part. At least a lot of you are feeling that way. Maybe some of you feel so overwhelmed and it's imbalanced, but I feel like the general energy of the group here is actually like you don't feel like you're taking on too much, but maybe it's kind of a suppressed frustration that's manifesting as anxiety in some way. because with Justice here, this is very much an energy of balance, and the Queen of Pentacles here, she has her shit together. She can handle like every practical matter. She is just on top of everything. She's super organized. And so that's what's coming to mind here, is organized. You guys might have a lot on your plate, but you're handling it. And I feel like a lot of you are happy with how you're handling it. But it's like, and take that as it resonates, because I can also feel that some of you, you're like, no, I'm not on top of it. There's too much here. But I think the channeled message here is still what's applicable to everybody in the group, regardless of your situation. But yeah, regardless, even if you feel like you're on top of it, like these two cards are kind of telling me, the Eight of Swords here is like, there's some part of you that's being drained. There's some part of you that feels trapped. So there almost might be too much organization here. If you're not feeling too overwhelmed by work, it might be you're too organized. So your soul is being drained and you're like not realizing it, because you are so caught up in managing all of these different things and keeping on top of it and staying balanced here. It's like causing an internal frustration that might start coming out as fear and anxiety. Like very trapped. There's like some part of your mind or your soul or your spirit that's feeling very trapped. So it might be trapped because you're over organizing, or you're taking on too many responsibilities, or all of the above. But yeah, your message didn't start about anxiety. It started about frustration. It says, I can see how frustrated you are. So I don't know if you're consciously feeling this frustration or if it's just under the surface. Sometimes we can hide our fears and frustration by over-organizing, over-controlling things, or taking on too much, because it helps distract us from it. But there's some part of you that's feeling very trapped, and this message is coming up here, and this rune's coming up here because it's like something, your subconscious or your soul or something is wanting a break, because you've been taking on too much for a while. And it's like, yeah, you need to take a break from everything going on, because there's some part of you that's feeling very overwhelmed, like it's too much and it's draining your energy is the main thing I'm hearing. But let's pull some tarot to see what else Spirit has to say about this. Spirit, Group 2. What message do you have about Group 2's fear and anxiety? We have the Nine of Pentacles. Very much kind of that energy I was just talking about. Very much having your shit together, like this Queen of Pentacles here. We have Death. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, very tired. Tired energy, overwhelmed, like it, very drained from taking on too much for too long. One more card, please, Spirit. The Fool. So yeah, these two nines here are kind of giving me, it's time to come to a completion. Like you've been doing too much for a while. It's like the nines are very much like you're coming towards the end of a cycle. Kind of like I was saying, winter here. You need to accept that you've put in enough work right now, and you need to find a way to take a break. That way change can happen with this Death card here, and new things can come in, and you can start fresh. I'm getting fresh is the word that I'm hearing with the Fool card here. You can start fresh on your journey. You can come back to all of this crazy stuff. If you're taking on a lot of stuff, you can still do it, but you need fresh energy. You can't keep doing it with this like exhausted energy. The Nine of Wands is very much a card of exhaustion, and it's like you need to transform that exhaustion to lightheartedness. You need to be fresh to handle this, or it's gonna come collapsing down on you in a terrible way if you're not on top of your own energy. And so if you guys have been feeling fear and anxiety, it's because you're putting yourself through way too much, and you need this break. You very much need this break. Because obviously you're strong and you're amazing. That's why, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Justice here. You can handle a lot, but like you can't You can't make yourself keep doing it. And I'm hearing that some of you are like, you know, you can't let go of any of these responsibilities. You have to keep doing it. Like, they're all important. But Spirit's telling me to tell you that there is a way. Like, if you can put this much on your plate right now, you can fit in a break. You can fit in, you know, a little bit of chill time, a little bit of you time to refresh yourself. It's possible. It's possible, and you just need to allow it. If you need help, ask your guides. They're there for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, because this was channeled first person, that there is a specific guide or a specific ancestor maybe that's like reaching out to you to tell you this specifically. Please reach out to them. But I'm going to close out your reading by pulling a couple advice cards for you guys. Spirit, for group 2, what final words of advice do we have? We have manifest. That came up in group 1. Spirit, group 2, what final words of advice? 888. So some of you might be working really, really hard because there is something you're trying to manifest, and this is eights. Eights are about, you know, working very hard, manifesting. Like it's like all of this stuff, being very driven. But it's like, this is coming up to remind you that this is all still going to be here. Everything you're working on, you just have to, you know, give yourself a break first. Right? Like, actually giving yourself a break is an important step on whatever it is you're trying to do in your life, or manifest, or keep on top of. Like, taking a break is important, because if you get drained, it's bad for your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and that's very important. So you need to actually be considering it as something to keep on your plate, your own. Yeah, it's whatever you're trying to manifest or do or keep on top of. Like, taking breaks and you time is actually part of this. So I feel like that's the main thing they want to say is, like, some of you are afraid of taking a break because you think everything's gonna fall apart, because it's like you're the one holding it together. But it's like that's not gonna work long term. Okay, if you can't hold yourself together in the process because you're doing too much, everything's gonna fall apart anyway. So, you know, you need to keep your own health and well-being in the equation here. It's just as important as anything else that you're doing. And I think that's your final message, group 2. I'm going to end your reading right here. I hope this was helpful. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to know in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Bye! Hi group 3, and welcome. You guys chose the large amethyst point. Today we're getting a message from Spirit about your anxiety or fear. So this could be a generalized fear or a specific fear about something on your mind. Whatever it is, we're just going to try to get some guidance and clarity from Spirit, as well as pull some advice. So to start off, I first have a channeled message for you guys. We're going to be looking at the root cause with these other cards I've pulled, and then we're going to pull some tarot to get a clearer message for you guys. But let's start with this message. So your guys' message is, you're free and you need to remember that. Spread your wings. So this is kind of the vibes I'm getting, like when I first got this message for you guys, is there's like self-imprisonment going on. Like you're holding yourself back from doing something because you're either overthinking it or refusing to think about it. There's like some sort of wall that you're actually building around yourself, like your own mental prison. And it's like your guides want to remind you that you're actually free. You're the one holding yourself back. in this situation. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, yeah, because I'm afraid, that's why I'm here. So I think that's what we need to look at next here. So the rune this rune is meant to describe your guide's message for you, and you guys have Rido. This rune is, what I'm hearing is you need to move. This rune is all about movement. It's like you need to move. You need to take action. So I don't know what that means specifically for you guys. So take that as it resonates, but that's kind of like the overall message they're trying to send with spread your wings. You need to move. You need to take action here. You need to stop holding yourself back. And it's almost like for some of you, if this resonates, you need to just push through the fear. Okay, you need to push through the fear, and once you push through it, you'll remember that you're free, and then you can spread your wings and fly free, basically. So I have some cards to represent the root cause of this fear or anxiety for you guys. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, there's the 5 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. I don't know if this is going to resonate for everybody, but I feel like there's loneliness here. Like you're doing too much alone, fighting for things alone. Like you don't have maybe other people for support, or you're afraid of taking action or moving forward on whatever this is because you're alone and you don't want to do it alone. Maybe some of you are tired from having to like fight and do everything yourself and support yourself, and it's draining, like draining on your emotions, your physical strength, your passion. And maybe because you had to do things alone for so long, or at least alone in whatever this is, because you've had to do something alone for so long, or because you feel like you have to do whatever this is alone. It's like, I don't know, caused a lot of, how do I say this? Just a lot of fear about moving forward, obviously, but like, I feel like some of you are just sad because you just don't want to do this alone. And I feel like your guides are wanting to say that they're with you, okay? And there's a more specific message here that some of you, you're not going to be alone for long. If that resonates for you. Not going to be alone for long. And another specific message coming through is whatever this is that you're afraid of, you need to move forward because it's important for your path and for your destiny. That it's almost like you need to push through this step alone because it helps build something inside yourself, some sort of inner strength with the 7 of Wands here. But it's like, yeah, for those of you worried about being alone further down this path, they're trying to say that you're not going to be. You just need to start taking this action and movement on your own, and just trust that you are supported. Trust that your guides are with you and that you're not alone, even if you're feeling that way right now. There's just a lot of loneliness here. But yeah, let me pull some tarot to clarify this message a little more. Spirit, Group 3. Group 3's fear. Do you have a message for Group 3? We have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's like whatever action that you're afraid to take or thing you're afraid to take, it's like it's gonna bear fruits. Like it's not gonna go nowhere. You will see the fruits of your labor. Yeah, 6 of Wands. Success or victory. Maybe some of you are afraid to move forward because you're afraid of losing some level of stability with the Nine of Pentacles here, but this is here to tell you that you're not going to. It's not like trapping you. Yeah, and there's a lot of freedom with the Six of Wands here too. And that's the main thing they're wanting to remind you is you're free, and you need to remember that. You're free. And the main thing holding you back right now is your own mind, it seems. You have the Hanged Man. One more card, please, Spirit. Ten of Swords. Well, that got into a heavy energy all of a sudden. Yeah, so this is what I was just saying. This is like your own mind. So the Hanged Man is just like basically he's fucking hanging here and just like he's in his own head, trying to get a higher perspective, a different perspective, a better perspective. But it's like Spirit's showing this here because you've been hanging here for too long. You've been hanging here thinking and considering the situation for too long, and it's holding you back. And maybe even for some of you, it might even be hurting you to hold yourself back because you're hesitating for too long, and it's just time. That's why the message here is move forward. Move forward. Yeah. I'm seeing almost a vehicle for some of you. I don't know. That's obviously not relevant to everybody, but it's, yeah, move forward, take action. It's time to stop this deliberation. It's time to stop this deliberation. Like, these first two cards are just like here to remind you that no, whatever you're doing, it's going to pay off and it's going to turn out well, like, really well, better than expected, like, exciting. It's going to refresh you. It's going to boost your self-confidence. It's going to boost how other people see you. It's just, yeah, I feel like that's the message. Even if you're scared, just move forward. Just move forward because you are free. You're holding yourself back mentally, and taking the step and pushing through your fear right now is going to liberate you. That's freedom. Spread your wings. That's what this is all about, is self-liberation. Self-liberation. Okay, I'm going to pull just a few more words of advice from Spirit. Spirit, what final words of advice do you have for group 3 about this situation? Okay, we have truce. I don't know if that means something specific for some of you. Like, this might have to do with another person for some of you. We have assert yourself. Again, you need to just, this is like about stepping into your power with assert yourself here. You need to step into your power. That's what this fear is about. It's like you need to face this. Like I was saying, for some of you, this is part of your destiny, is learning to assert yourself, step into your power, step into your self-confidence, and like realize the strength that you actually have inside yourself. So it's like this fear, you need to face it because it is strengthening. One more card, please, Spirit. Can I get one more piece of advice for group 3? Nourish. So yeah, this is obviously a very specific message for those of you who maybe this fear is like holding you back so much you're not taking care of yourself. I'm also hearing nourish your mind. I don't know what that means specifically for some of you. Maybe some of you have been distracting yourself from thinking about this at all, or maybe some of you it's just the opposite, where you're overthinking. There are too many destructive thoughts going through your head, and you need to nourish your mind with healthy thoughts, positive affirmations, because this whole energy is kind of a mental prison that you've built around yourself. And it's just like, you know, it's time to break free from that. Obviously, if this is with another person, like, that truce is a specific message about that. But I feel like for most of you, this is actually saying You know, you need to make peace. Make peace with yourself, make peace with your soul, make peace with the part of you that's scared. Like, it's okay to be scared, but don't be stuck hesitating for so long. It's time to step into your power and move forward. You have the strength, you have the capability, you can do this, and spread your wings. So I think I'm going to end your reading right here, Group 3. I hope this was helpful. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Bye! Hi Group 4, and welcome. You guys chose the Amethyst Window Stone. Today we are getting a message from Spirit to help you with your anxiety or with a fear you have. So this can be a generalized fear or a fear of something specific. Just whatever you're needing advice or a message from your guides on, that's what we're looking into today. So first I have a channeled message for you guys. Then we're going to look at these cards that I pulled to represent the root cause. And then we're going to pull some more tarot to get, you know, message and guidance and comfort, that type of thing. So first I want to read you your guys' channeled message here. I want to say first that there's an image that came through more strongly than these words did. So these words are almost me trying to translate what they were bringing through with the image. But it was like somebody like kind of curled up in a ball in a dark room, just crying or terrified or something like that, just curled up almost in the fetal position. So I don't know if that's like the level of fear you guys have been dealing with or holding inside, but it was a very, very intense image. So your guys' message says, you're not weak. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not carry everything all the time. It's okay to hide. It's okay to be human. You are loved, and you deserve just as much as anybody else. So, yeah. I feel like some of you have been like holding in this level of fear. Or if you've been really scared or crying or something like that, you've been beating yourself up over it because you feel like it's weak, or you've not been letting your emotions out because you feel like they're weak, or yeah, you're just like denying or avoiding your emotions in some way because you don't think it's right, or you feel like you don't even deserve to have these emotions or be human even. And yeah, so it's like Spirit's wanting to tell you, no, it's okay. Your emotions are important. Your fear is important. Anything inside you that you're feeling, you deserve to feel it. Even if it's painful, it's like it's not weak to be human, basically. So your guys' rune that came up to represent your message, we have Awas. So this is very much about union, love, connection. I'm feeling like some of you might feel like you're lacking connection in some way, actually. And even if you're not, you might just feel alone in whatever you're dealing with right now, which is similar to one of the previous groups. I think it was group 2, but very different energy. No, group 3. But yeah, I feel like some of you, yeah, you just feel alone, or maybe you don't have someone to connect with, and maybe you're afraid of moving forward because of, I don't know, maybe even some of you feel like you don't just, it's not only that you don't have someone there to support you and help you through your fear and pain, but you feel maybe even attacked, or like people are going to hurt you in some way, or not accept you. Like not only do you not have loving connection, you have the opposite of that. It's like hateful or negative connection. And Spirit is wanting to remind you that, you know, you still have your guides. You still have, that there's still love around you in some way, even if it's just spiritual, and they want to give you a hug, like a hug from the inside. And hopefully you can feel that from them. But let's take a look here. To represent the root of your, sorry, I'm getting really foggy all of a sudden. The root of this fear that you're having, we have the King of Cups, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Magician. Yeah, for some of you, this might actually be someone who's treating you negatively or being manipulative in some way that's making you feel weak. You might be having a specific person, or throughout your life have had multiple people treat you like it's weak to cry or be afraid, and you just need to be brave all the time, and you can't acknowledge your own feelings and emotions. And it's like you're overly controlled. You're overly controlled of what you express, even to yourself, or what you allow yourself to feel or do. I don't know how well you can see the imagery on this card, but this Magician is like controlling this other person like a puppet. And I feel like, yeah, maybe you're doing that to yourself, or maybe you've had someone else doing this to you, like controlling partner, controlling parents, that have actually, I feel like maybe outside influences have made you start doing it to yourself, even where you block out these emotions because you feel like they're weak, and you feel like you can't cry, you're not allowed to hide or cry or be scared because it's just not acceptable. You have to put on this like emotionally balanced front all the time, and you feel weak or bad if you don't feel like in total control of your emotions all of the time. But that's what Spirit's message for you is that it's not weak. It's okay to be human. Everyone has feelings. Everyone has emotions. They're not all positive. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to be afraid. These things tell us stuff. When you need to cry, it's because you're hurt and you have to let that out. You can't suppress it. When you're feeling scared, sometimes it's telling you, okay, your situation you're in is bad. You shouldn't be doing it. Fear is actually a very healthy emotion. Sometimes it tells us, okay, you might be stepping into a dangerous situation, and it's okay to acknowledge that. If we block out our fear, we block out part of our intuition. And because our intuition speaks to us through our emotions, our intuition speaks through fear. Okay, if you're like absolutely terrified of something, like the image I got here, like curled up in a ball, shaking, terrified, crying. Like if you're that scared of something, it might be Spirit trying to tell you, this is bad. This is a bad situation. Or maybe you have a bad controlling partner. Maybe you're scared because you're in an unsafe situation. Fear is not something we should block out. We need to honor it and respect it. With the Knight of Pentacles reversed here, it's like, this is like, I wanted to say it's not moving forward, but this actually feels more to me like moving backwards. Like by not acknowledging your feelings or acknowledging what your fear is trying to tell you, you're actually moving backwards. And yeah, I feel like the message here is like connect to yourself. That's why we have the rune of connection coming up. It's like connect to who you are, connect to your emotions, connect to your intuition, because there's like a disconnect going on here because you are so overly controlled. You have to like let yourself be human. You really have to let yourself be human here. All right, let's pull some tarot to get more clarity on this message. Spirit, group 4. What further message do you have for group 4 here? We have Temperance. Yeah, this is more about, connecting. the light and the dark, positive and negative. You have to accept all the different parts of you, all the different emotions. That's what it is to be human. We even have like the yin and yang symbol right here. You need to accept all parts of you. There aren't bad parts of you. They're all just part of being human. We all have dark and light, and that's okay. It's okay to cry. Spirit, what else? What other message do you have for group 4? We have the 9 of Cups. Yeah, some of you might even, this isn't just emotional denial, some of you might even be denying pleasure, denying yourselves pleasure in some way. Maybe even restrictive eating habits, maybe even to the level of eating disorder, or being just overly controlled in your routine and structure. Working out too much, all this kind of thing where you're just like, you don't let yourself have pleasure because you don't feel like you deserve it, and you have to be kind of just stoic and perfect all the time. Some of you maybe have perfectionistic tendencies where you just won't let yourself, break down and cry, even though you're like inside of you it's screaming to. Yeah, we have the 9 of Wands here too. You just like holding on and being strong for too long, and maybe for some of you it's just manifesting as fear and anxiety, and it's because you're just suppressing everything. You can only be strong for so long. You can only block out like the stuff you're blocking out for so long. It's gonna come out in some way or another. King of Pentacles. I feel like, yeah, what I was just saying, some of you maybe because you're so over controlling of yourself, maybe even perfectionistic, you're afraid things are gonna fall apart if you let yourself fall apart and cry. You feel like everything you have going on in your life, all the things you have pieced together, you feel like it's gonna fall apart, but this is like to remind you that you're not. The King of Pentacles is, very, very on top of things, very practical. He has everything together. This is like the ideal businessman. He's running, a business and managing multiple things. This is like telling you you're still going to have that energy. You're still going to be in control. It's actually like if you don't let yourself break down and let out your emotions sometimes, that's what's going to make things fall apart, is holding everything in. Because then you'll just implode from the inside, and it's breaking my heart to even think about it. Don't let yourselves implode. You need to acknowledge what's going on in your internal world. The magician's very good at controlling the external world. So is the King of Pentacles. These guys are very, very good at, earthly manifestation, controlling what's outside. And yeah, this is here to remind you that you're not going to lose control of the outside world if you're a perfectionist or something. But yeah, you can't. The magician also combines all of the elements, which includes your internal world and your emotions to manifest in the physical world. If you lose control of what's on the inside of you, or it bottles up inside, that's what's going to make things fall apart. You need to let yourself be a person. Group 4, you need to let yourself be a person. Stop holding everything together. Just allow yourself to experience some pleasure and good things. There's nothing wrong with being human. If you need to cry, there's nothing wrong with being hurt. If you feel scared, there's nothing wrong with feeling scared. Fear and sadness, these are good, healthy, normal emotions, and you should be expressing them. You should be allowing yourself to feel them. Okay, group 4, I'm going to pull a few advice cards for you as well to end off this reading. Spirit, what final words of advice do you have for group 4? Assert yourself. That came up in group 3 as well. Spirit, final words of advice for group 4. We have release. That's exactly what I've been telling you this whole time. Release your emotions. Feel them. Allow them. If you need to cry, cry. If you feel scared, feel scared. Courage. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So it's like if you... So some of you are afraid to even feel the fear that you're fearing. But it's like I've been saying, fear is a very healthy emotion. It tells us what's wrong, and it doesn't make you like a coward. It doesn't make you weak to feel afraid. Just acknowledge it, acknowledge what the fear is telling you, and move bravely forward. You're obviously brave, okay? If you're this controlled about yourself, you have a lot of bravery, you have a lot of strength. That's not disappearing just because you allow yourself to feel afraid. It's not disappearing because you allow yourself to cry. You obviously have immense strength. That's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere just because you let yourself feel an emotion. And assert yourself. This is also what I'm just saying. Your emotions are part of yourself, okay? You need to assert that. But this is a specific message for those of you where I said, if you do have someone very controlling in your life that's making you feel this way, or being manipulative, or making you feel bad for being human, or making you feel weak, if you have an external influence in some way, this is like, you need to get away from that. You need to assert yourself. So whether this control is coming just from you or it's coming from the outside, it's time to give up those things that are forcing you and boxing you in. Because I don't want you to implode group 4. That's just heartbreaking. And your guides don't want you to either. Okay? So please allow yourself to be human. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing weak about you. But I'm going to end your reading here, group 4. I hope this was helpful. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment below as well to let me know what you thought. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Bye!